Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and LifeWave team, brothers and sisters. I just have a great privilege and honor to share my testimony with you all. And this is very near and dear to my heart, so I apologize in advance just in case I get emotional. But I feel like it's definitely needed to be shared.
Yes.
I was 26 years old, and we had just had our first son. He was a couple months old, and they had diagnosed me with endometriosis, which was very painful. Had to go through surgeries for that. I had ovarian cyst. That's very painful as well. Any female will be able to tell you that. I had a few surgeries in between. Before I was diagnosed with the uterine fibroids. They diagnosed me with the uterine fibroids when I was pregnant with my twins. And I had no idea what it was. They said, do you have fibroids? And I said, what are fibroids? And the doctor said, well, if you had them, you would know what that is. So after I delivered my twins, that's when they went in and did the fibroid surgery. So I had the fibroid surgery, still wasn't successful. Finally, they did a full hysterectomy. I had 3 children under the age of 3. Full hysterectomy at the age of 29. I mean, you name it, I was just distraught. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know if I was coming or going, how I was going to take care of my children. I'm trying to figure out what's going on mentally, physically. I had depression, anxiety, you name it. I felt like it was just like a ton of bricks. It just kept coming at me. So I had a lot of anxiety, depression, and stress, and not sleeping very well, worried about my children, my health. Then they finally diagnosed me with fibromyalgia. That was pain that just runs throughout your entire body. It can change in different areas. I actually experienced it in like mainly my joints. And of course, at that time, it was like knees, just like the female origin area. I had a lot of recurrent bladder infections after I had a hysterectomy. And I didn't know this. I had no idea. I would thought my doctor would have shared this with me, but I didn't know that after a woman has a hysterectomy, that their bladder can actually drop. So I had no idea. I was dealing with those issues, and I had recurrent bladder infections. I mean, a couple times a year. So finally, they implanted a bladder mesh. And I don't know if anybody's seen any of those horror commercials about the recall for the bladder mesh. Well, I was one of those. And I just wanted to say that I woke up from the surgery and I was like, okay, I'm going to feel different. I have hope. I could not go to the bathroom on my own before I left the hospital. They sent me home with a catheter for 2 weeks. And I couldn't empty my bladder on my own at all. It was so frustrating. I felt like my eyeballs were floating, my kidneys, everything was backing up. It was just so painful. I thought, oh my gosh, I thought this was going to be better. This is worse. So finally, I got to a place where I could actually void my bladder. I could empty it on my own, but I had recurrent bladder infections still. And I had pain if I moved a certain way. I felt like something was stabbing me, like a piece of metal, like a knife was stabbing me in a certain area if I bent over to pick my children up or anything, of that sort. So for 5 long years, I can't stress this enough. This was like the most longest 5 years of my entire life. My doctor kept telling me that I would get used to the feeling. Oh, it's fine. You'll get used to it. And I'm waiting. Another year goes by. I'm waiting for me to get used to this feeling. It definitely was not getting any better. So I was at a breaking point. I thought I was going to lose my mind. I literally thought I was going crazy because I thought nobody was hearing me. I kept going back to my doctor and saying, I have bladder infection after bladder infection. This was supposed to help. I don't feel good. I feel like, the only way I could explain it was just peeing glass pellets. And that's being less descriptive than I want to be. But it was very painful for me. So I thought I was losing my mind. And this was a doctor I had trusted for many, many years. He delivered my twins. He had done many laparoscopy surgeries on me for endometriosis and other female surgeries, ovarian cysts. He actually gave me the full hysterectomy, did the uterine fibroid surgery. So I trusted him and all of his knowledge. And, you know, I put my care, my hope in him as a doctor, as a professional. So after that, I had to find a urogynecologist. I didn't know where to begin. I had no idea. I was just praying, you know, please God, send somebody, send someone my way. So finally, I found from a friend at church, she recommended a urogynecologist that she had seen. So I went to go see him, and he had removed my bladder mesh completely. Thank God it was removed, fully removed. It didn't like separate. It didn't go into pieces, but I did have some underlying damage because of the mesh being implanted for 5 long years. It caused damage. So they diagnosed me with interstitial cystitis, which is IC. That is a tough one. It's hard to explain unless you know what it is, but it is very painful. And I just want to say, the only way that I could get relief was to go every week to have a bladder installation. And of course, they have to use a catheter, which is very unpleasant. Weekly bladder installation was not my thing. I mean, I would get so nervous. I had anxiety. You know, I'm like, I'm supposed to be better, not worse. I need help. Please, God, send somebody. So the IC was one issue, the weekly bladder installations. Then they tell me, well, the only way you're going to get relief is if you actually have bladder Botox injections. And I'm like, bladder Botox injections? I've never heard of this. You know, I thought Botox was for like your face. And so the doctor explained to me that it actually relaxes the muscles for the spasms. You'll get relief. You know, it will only last a few months to a year. And so what happened was I actually had the bladder Botox injections every year for up to 7 years. And the relief was only like 9 months to a year, as if that. You know, they did a cystoscopy where they would stretch my bladder and that would be fine for a while. And then it would shrink back down. I'd have the bladder spasms, the Botox wore off, and I was back in the doctor's office again. So it was just a very painful, vicious cycle. And what I wanted to know was, what are my options from here? The damage is done. I need to get to a good, healthy state. I need to figure this out. I need help. So I said, what are my options? Well, my doctor recommended that I have a bladder stimulator inserted. And another implant or a foreign object in my body, I was thinking, I really have to pray about this. I don't know. I mean, I'm on the fence about this. I'm scared to tell my husband because he would be like, oh, I don't think so. So I'm worried. And he's like, my doctor's saying, this is the only way you're going to get relief. You're going to have to keep coming in with the bladder installations or do the bladder Botox. The bladder stimulator will help you. You can stay at home. You won't have to come to the office. You have a little remote. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I don't feel like going through another surgery. This has just been so traumatic for me. So that's when I prayed and I asked God for guidance and direction. I'm like, oh Lord, please send something. Please help me. I need help. Well, this is when I was introduced to the LifeWave patches. My husband introduced me to them. The products that I used that my husband gave me, the X39 and glutathione on day 1. I felt some relief, but I wasn't fully pain-free, but I could tell it was doing something to my body. I couldn't really sleep all night long without going to the bathroom, and I couldn't really tell that much of a major difference. But what the products did for me was it actually helped me to relieve some of the pain and eventually sleep through the night. I could do workouts, go to the gym, take road trips without worrying about finding a bathroom. Like I would literally try not to drink water or liquids when we would do a road trip with the boys when they were younger, because I knew I would have to stop and go to the bathroom. And I lived my life around this for many, many years, 1 year too many. But I did feel some relief. And the only way that I can say that I really, really got fully relief was when I did the cellular regeneration detox. So I just wanted to share that that really made a difference in my personal life. Within 3 days, I felt like a new person. I had more energy, less pain, trips to the bathroom. I was able to do things that I hadn't done in years. Like, I could take road trips with my kids. I could sit at a soccer game and not have to worry about going to the bathroom before halftime and then halftime. And then in between, the second quarter. And then when I left, right before I left, when I got home, it was just a constant struggle. So what I wanted to share also with the IC, the interstitial cystitis, was my doctors told me that there is no cure for this. So when I heard those words, I thought, wow, this is a debilitating disease that I'm diagnosed with. And I had a hard time accepting that. I really, really did. They kept trying to push the bladder stimulator to have that implanted in, and I just didn't feel comfortable with it because and this is why I say, God, please help me and direct me. God knows, he gives you that instinct for a reason. So if I didn't feel that it was right, that was for a reason. Having the bladder mesh was one thing, but this is a whole nother foreign object going to be placed in my body. So that was definitely a hard pill to swallow. So I'm glad that I never did a surgery. So when I met Brother Lorenzo, I was already using the patches. And I thank you, Brother Lorenzo, personally for introducing my husband to this business and this stem cell technology. I was away at the ocean. One of our sons was in the hospital, and we had already prepaid for a week at the ocean. And I said, you know what? Everything's going a little crazy. My husband's got to work. I'm going to go there for a couple days. If he comes out of the hospital, they need me. I'm going to run home. I'm not too far away. So I go for 4 or 5 days. I come back home, and my husband says, honey, I have something for you. And I was thinking, oh, great. I had something. He's got a present for me, right? And he goes, I have patches. I said, patches? Patches? Patches for what? He said, it's going to make you better. It's going to help you. And I said, okay. So of course I was very skeptical. And I said, okay, I'm going to trust my husband because I've been praying and we had a lot of things going on, a lot of issues. But when he gave me the patches, I put them on right away. I didn't argue. I trust my husband 100% because, we've been together and he's my soulmate. So he wants what's best for me. He's seen me struggle many years. And I know that this was something that he wanted me to experience for myself. So, and then I needed help with the pain. Brother Lorenzo, you're like the pain expert. You do that ice wave all the time. You're a professional with that. So I did the cellular regeneration detox. That was the best thing that I can say for myself, because after day 5, I felt like Wonder Woman. I felt like I could fly. I mean, you name it. I just felt like I didn't have achy joints. I didn't have any bladder pain. I didn't have neck pain. I didn't have no stiffness. I did add the ice wave to my, after the 5 days, for the patching therapy that I was using, because I still had a little pain in my ankles from just doing a lot of exercising, sports, that kind of thing when I was younger. But when I put the ice wave on my feet, the bottom of my feet, that was like a total game changer for me. So I believed in the products first and then the opportunity, because I believed in these products. I tried them. Once you try these products, they're life-changing. I can promise you, if you try these products, this is something that you will never experience. And I can guarantee you, you will have success, whether it's a, 1 patch, two patch, 3 patch, the 1, 2, 3, or the ABC, one of those is definitely going to help. And now I'm helping people every day with the patches because I share this with everybody. I can't contain the excitement and what this has done in my life and how it's changed me tremendously. So I share this with my family, my friends, and for those that have seen me struggle for many years with this pain, they say, wow, you're like a different person. And I'm like, I know. So they ask, like, I go in with my patches on and they're, what's that? What's that? oh, those are my patches. And well, what's that do? So that opens the door for me to share the opportunity of this business with them. So a lot of my friends were like, patches, so once you share it with them, sometimes people are very skeptical, like I was, and I understand it. But my friend, when they trust you like that, I feel like you need to just actually let them experience it for themselves. So you just ask, can I put a patch on you? It doesn't have any medicine on it. It's not going to hurt you, and you're only going to benefit from it. So you just patch them, you share it with them every day. And I learned that from Brother Lorenzo. He's such a good mentor. I love you guys, Brother Rick, Brother Roy. You guys, we couldn't ask for better teammates and mentors on our team. I just really appreciate you all. You always want what's best for us. And I thank you for giving us that push. Each and every day, whether it's a little encouragement, hey, here's how you become manager in a day and this, or in a week, and whatever you share with us, we take it and we absorb it like sponges, because we're learning from you guys. You guys are like the best in my book. Anyway, we love you guys. And this is what I used in the beginning, the cellular regeneration protocol. So when I used this the 5-day cellular regeneration, I thought, wow, I have to wear all of these patches all at the same time, but there's different places for them. And there's a reason for each and every patch. And there's a reason for each and every position and spot and placement of these patches. So you follow this 5-day cellular regeneration protocol, and it is a total game changer for your whole system. You will reboot, you will learn to take metals out of your body. Your body will respond to so many different ways. You are going to feel like a new person. I mean, I literally felt like Wonder Woman with this regeneration. I could not contain it. I had to share it with everybody. So, and sharing this difference, I mean, this really made a difference in my life. So I meet people and I patch them daily. I share the importance of a cellular regeneration detox. I actually just had my parents do this for Christmas. We gave it to them for Christmas presents. My mom and my dad, they both have health issues. These are the patches I use to maintain now, which is high immunity system protocol. Because the day and age that we live in, with the coronavirus, all the sicknesses going around, can we just say flu and colds, people? I mean, back in the day, that's all it was. We were just sick. You just stayed home. You laid in bed. You got better. But times have changed. So for this, you got to keep your immune system up. And this is what I use now to maintain. So this is highly recommended, especially this day and age. And if you're not vaccinated, I don't, everybody has their own opinion about that. I'm not even going to open that can of worms. So I just totally believe that our body can heal itself with this stem cell technology. That's why David Schmidt is, he's just such an intelligent man. I'm so thankful for this business. And I wanted to help my parents with these patches. That was not just the reason why I tried the patches myself, was because I knew I had pain and I needed to get rid of it. But I wanted to share it with everybody. First, I want to start with my parents. My husband helped his parents. Then I went on and on and on. But I wanted to help my parents with these patches. My dad has diabetes, arthritis. My mom had 2 back surgeries. And I wanted to help them manage their pain and discomfort. Give them a better quality of life. I mean, who doesn't deserve and want a better quality of life? Yes. Raise your hand, raise your hand. I mean, having a better quality of life these days it's such a game changer. You learn to appreciate the little things, because when you go through the struggles that you go through, just being out of pain, people might look at it as so small. But I mean, when you experience pain to the level, should I say, that I've experienced, others may have been worse, but what I've gone through, and to be pain-free from this technology is a game changer, and it's life-changing for me. And I can't share that enough. This is my beautiful mother. I love her to pieces. My mom, she had 2 back surgeries, and she kind of has a little stiff neck sometimes. And she's like, I just wanted to let you know, I woke up with a stiff neck and used one of those X39 patches and it feels so much better. I just had to let you know that. And I'm like, great, Mom, yay. I said, that's what they're for, And then my dad, he had prostate cancer, arthritis. He had lung issues, had like one of his the lobe of his lung removed. And my dad's like, I must say the patches on the bottom of your feet seem to help my mobility quite a bit. He said it's quite a good feeling. So for my dad to say that, he's the biggest skeptic that I know, or should I say that I've grown up with. So he was very skeptical. But when I told him about the feet placement, I was like, Dad, just try it. It's not going to hurt you. So he would walk down the steps, and sometimes his knee or his hip would hurt, or it would give out. And ever since he's been using the ice wave on the bottom of his feet, he was doing squats. I mean, we patched him up and he was doing squats, and I'm like, Dad, okay, one step at a time here. I don't need you falling over. He's like 6'4", really tall guy. So I'm like, Dad, calm down. He was so excited because the pain had gone away and he could squat without the pain. So he wanted to show us all. And my mom's going, okay. So I couldn't share it enough. My dad is such a sweet man. And this is my beautiful friend, Robin. She suffered from horrible neck pain, and her husband had pain in his hand from his occupation. He's an electrician, so he's in the cold weather. You never know. Of course, no heat. There's no electricity. He's fixing the wires. He's outside. He's inside. There's no heat. So he's got swollen joints and soreness. So they were taking the ice wave. They used the X39, Eon, energy enhancer. And finally, they just did the 5-day cellular regeneration protocol. And they've actually seen great benefits from this. And this is my friend Rachel. She's a dear friend of mine. I used to work with her at the salon. And she had been in pain for years from being a hairstylist and standing on her feet all day long. She had pain in her neck, and you could see like it's swollen, back on that where that disc is when you bend your neck forward. So she said that it seemed to help with the neck pain. And then after giving birth, she wanted to lose a couple pounds. So I gave her the SP6, the X39, and her neck pain is more manageable, and she's lost about 10 pounds. And she's thankful that she saw my video on Instagram so she could learn about the patches and try them for herself. So these two products, I mean, really, if you try any patch on someone for whatever reason, if it's any kind of itis or inflammation, you're going to try the Eon, you're going to do the 1, 2, 3, X39, X49. These products sell themselves. When they feel the difference, you don't even need to sell it. They're going to be like, what is this? I need more. They want this for themselves. So just patch someone, let them feel the difference, and it makes them feel so much better. After they experience the technology, there's nothing that compares to it on the market today. Nothing can touch this. I mean, if it was, I would have definitely come across this somewhere along the way, but there is nothing that can touch this stem cell technology. And you're at the right place at the right time. Brother Roy, you were right, because we are at the right place at the right time. We are not at the formulation mode, Brother Rick. We are in the other mode. Yes, we're climbing up. This by far, the Ice Wave, has been personally the best selling product for me, because I find that a lot of my friends, along with other products as well, but a lot of my friends have localized pain. And this really helps, but it also helps in conjunction and in combination with other patches. Of course, the Eon, the X39, I mean, these are all made to work together for your system. So I love this business because I can share and help someone else's quality of life for the better. I mean, who doesn't love to help someone? The reward. I mean, it's not about money for me. It's about seeing their quality of life improve. And that is the reward. That makes my heart so happy. And it's so humbling to be able to help someone. I'm not doing it for myself. I want to see them walk, like my dad doing the squats. I mean, I literally wanted to cry when I saw him doing that, but I was like, okay, first, let me make sure he doesn't fall over, because he was so excited. But I just have to say that this has definitely been a game changer for me. This experience in technology is like none other. I thank you for allowing me to share this, but I also wanted to say my journey seems so long and challenging at times in my life that I fell into depression and I had anxiety, lots of stress. But I'm thankful that God carried me along to endure and stay the course, because had I not, my husband wouldn't have met Lorenzo when he did, to come across the patching when he did. So I do believe it all is about timing, God's timing, not mine. He knew I needed this and when I needed it. I had tried everything else, and what worked for me was these patches. This LifeWave company has changed my life, and I'm so thankful to God for this, and David Schmidt, all my teammates, all my mentors. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
I just want to thank God, first of all, for giving us the technology to David.
Amen.
Because without it, my wife would still be hurting. She'd still be going to doctors and hospitals. She'd still be doing all this. You know how horrible it is to go to an a surgery room with your wife, and you're saying goodbye, and you're saying, you know, God, protect her. Yeah, and we did this countless 15, 13 surgeries. And I was there with her every time. Sometimes I couldn't make it, and her mom had to go with her. But you know what? I believed, and I had a lot of faith in God that something was coming. And just when all things seemed the worst, when we were at our wits' end, you know, our kid was in the hospital. My mom had knee problems. My wife had bladder issues. I had her. My brother had sciatica. All this is happening at the same time, and God sent an angel in disguise. That's brother Lorenzo. What a man! What a heart! What a humility to be able to come to see us. 4.5 hour drive with a lot of traffic, and he made it. He made it into, and I was able to. He gave me one patch, and I believe with that one patch, even though I told him I don't want to get into another business, but God opened my eyes, and he said, son, how many people you can help with this business? And it's not, to me, it's not about money. I tell people that all the time, even though money's good, but you know, it's not about money. It's about helping people and helping people get better. And now I don't just help people spiritually, and as I pray and minister to them, I help them financially, and more importantly, physically. And so we have all the areas of our lives taken care of. And just because Brother Lorenzo was humble enough to drive and to be able to talk to us about the patch and help us, you know, now we're in it's a different chapter of our lives. And I just want to thank God, thank Brother Roy, thank Brother Rick, thank Brother Lorenzo for being there for us and for helping us